I'll be showing you how the binary search algorithm works. The binary search is very useful because of how fast it is. How the binary search works is it takes an already sorted list and looks through it to determine whether an item is in that list. For this example, we're actually going to be looking for the item 13. First, it's going to take the midpoint of this list, which is 8, and if the item we're looking for is greater than the midpoint, then it'll look towards the right of that list. If it's less than the midpoint, then it'll only look towards the left of the list. First, we need to define our binary search that takes in two arguments, so L for list and item for the item we'll be searching for. Now, we need to find the midpoint of each iteration. We need to know the beginning and ending index, and to do that, we're going to get our low underscore index and set it equal to 0, and we're going to get our high or ending index, and we're going to set it equal to the length of our list minus 1. Okay, so that will give us the ending index for the whole list. Now the next thing we need to do is get our midpoint. Okay, so while low underscore index is less than or equal to our high underscore index. So what this is saying is while our low, if our low is less than our high, then our midpoint is low underscore index plus our high underscore index divided by 2. Now dividing it by 2 is just not enough. We need to find out how many times 2 goes into the quantity of our low plus our high, and we do that by adding just another slash. Okay, now we need to compare the value of the midpoint to the value we're searching for. So midpoint underscore value is equal to our list midpoint. Okay, so this will return the value rather than the position of our midpoint. So if the midpoint is equal to the number we're searching for, then we need to just return that midpoint. So if midpoint underscore value is equal to the item we're searching for, then we need to just return our value, return midpoint. Okay, now if our midpoint is our item we're searching for is less than our midpoint value, then we need to update our ending index. So our high index is going to be set to midpoint minus 1. Okay, so what this is saying is if the item we're looking for is less than our midpoint here is 8. If we want to look for the number 5, then our ending index, we don't need to have it all the way up to 21. We don't need to look through the whole list. Since it's not our midpoint, which our midpoint is 8, if it was our midpoint, it'll just return our value. Since it's not our midpoint, then we just need to subtract 1 from our midpoint, which would give us 7, and it'll look from 7 all the way towards the left of the beginning until we find that number. Now, what if our midpoint is, what if the item we're trying to find is greater than our midpoint? So we're going to use else, and we're going to update our beginning index or our low index. So our low index is going to be midpoint plus 1. Okay. So what this is saying is if the item we're looking for is greater than 8, then we need to add 1 to, if it's not 8 and it's greater than 8, we need to add 1 to it and start looking from there. So it'll start at 9 and it'll keep looking through until it finds the number we're looking for. Okay, so now let's get our list. So list underscore a, create a variable called list underscore a, and we're just gonna copy this list of numbers on line 1 and we're gonna paste it here. Okay, and the next thing we need to do is have our item. So create a variable called item, and I'm gonna set it equal to, let's find the 13, the index value for 13, and we're gonna print binary, and we're gonna call our list and item. So when we run this, it should give us the index value for 13. There you go. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, if we want to change it to 4, it should give us the index value for 4, which is 1. Remember, it starts counting from 0, 0, 1. Now, we can actually prompt the user to enter whichever number they want. So we start with integer, since it's going to, so you can accept a number, and input our user to enter a number from, let's copy our list of numbers right here and paste it. Okay. So when we run this, it should print enter a number from 2 to some 2, 4, 5, 7. Let's enter 9. So when we run this, the index value for 9 is 5. If we run it again and we want to see 21, there you go, 8. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys learned something new about basic computer science algorithm, which is the binary search. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.